People ain't loyal no more. It's time to talk. Simon, thank you for accepting my invitation to be on Loyalty. Welcome to my world of loyal people and people with core values. It's a pleasure to have you here. We've been friends for a while. We supported each other a couple times. It's my pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, awesome. Really good to be here. Thank you so much. Interesting kind of name for the podcast and your sort of, I guess, your personal brand, right? You know, That's
what I'm trying to build with this. Yeah. You know, it's literally to building that brand.
Sure.
Everything around loyalty. You know, we've been working with investors. It's one of those things, you know, you don't want to put your money into someone's hand who will fucking run away and fuck you over like it happened to us a couple of times with builders, for example.
Correct.
I'm sorry to put builders' names all the time in the front, but it's always them in the property world. Yeah. Anyway, let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Where did you grow up? Manchester?
No, so born in Cambridge.
Oh.
Then moved up to Lincolnshire, so near Grantham, just south of Grantham, where I guess most of my sort of growing up life until early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Started out life after school, left school at 15. Back then you could. It was either A-levels or you clear off and go to work. I did an apprenticeship. I learnt to be a car mechanic. So worked as a mechanic for a few years. A few main dealers, did some bits for myself.
So that's where passion come from.
That's where the
cars.
And yeah, so I've always, again, since probably 14, 15, always had like off-road motorbikes, then into cars later on. I'd get home from school. First thing I would do, I'm not very studious. I find it very difficult to study. I'm not very good at exams or studying and reading and sort of, obviously I can read, don't get me wrong, but I can't, my eyes dart all over the page. I find it very difficult to focus and to sort of follow those kind of things through. So I've always been a doer rather than a studier. So I've always sought out like activities and things to do rather than to study. So yeah, I'd come home from school, I'd jump on my motorbike and I'd rag round the village to the tracks, and then just go off green laning, for hours after school, like in the summer and stuff. And yeah, it's really, really cool. And just continued from there. So yeah, always really been into cars, motorbikes, all that sort of stuff. Stopped being a mechanic in my early 20s. I can't remember now, 22, 23, something like that. Did some traveling, went out to Zimbabwe. Did some volunteering.
Oh.
So it's like a government scheme. Did like a volunteering project out there for a couple of months. Really cool. Like integrated into the local communities and like building and
good experience.
Insane, massive eye opener.
Yeah,
I would say
the difference between poverty and
the
life we live in. We think we're not doing well, and
yeah. Do you know what? I think that was probably the
eye opener,
best and like first thing I ever did to like get me out of that small town mentality.
Mm-hmm.
So, grew up in a small town, worked in the pubs and, all that sort of stuff. And all you do is you go out every weekend. There's not really anything else to kind of do.
Yeah.
Core group of friends, like all really cool. But I didn't really know what the world was or like what was out there. And that was my first taste of going like, okay, there's something a bit bigger out there than what I'm doing, working in a little garage and, just seeing my mates on a weekend and stuff.
Did it make you a bit humble?
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I was a bit of a twat before that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I was your typical small town, big lad in a small town idiot, before that.
It's funny. It's funny that we can at least admit it at this age.
I don't mind. I don't mind. I think at the time you probably couldn't have told me that, but
yeah.
It's funny. Like I think when I was younger, I would either rub people up the wrong way, or people would get on with me. There was no in between. It's like proper Marmite. And my mates still joke about it to this day.
Right.
You know, like we'd go out and someone would want to start on me, and someone would be like, my mates would be making friends with people. It's sort of like that was kind of the
way you
sort
went.
of the setup. It's quite funny, not intentionally.
Yeah.
I just came across in that manner. And anyway, so yeah. But no, so that was a really, really good opener, you know, opened my eyes to the world, the struggles, just I guess how we can help as well, you know, the way we live, how that can affect other people or how we can help people. So that was kind of my first taste into that. Got the traveling bug. I'd been to Thailand prior before that. And then I ended up moving to Barcelona. I lived in Barcelona for around 4 years. Couple of different jobs out there, but again, just loved that kind of, you know, Mediterranean life.
Is it quite easy to find a job in those cities for English-speaking person?
I think now it's probably
Much easier?
harder now, just purely because of Brexit.
All right.
So there are jobs there, but obviously more now, like the visa process and working outside of the UK and stuff is a bit harder. So I went before Brexit. Just insane. Just a
different lifestyle.
Yeah, just incredible. Absolutely incredible. You know, you sort of, what I'm going to do today, I'm going to go to the beach, or I'm going to drive to the mountains, or I'm going to go skiing in the winter, I'm going to go to the beach in the summer, you know, all that kind of stuff. It was cool. It was really, really cool. But I've always had that itch where, like, I don't feel like I'm doing enough, or there's more opportunity out there. I'm earning €800 a month. I'm sharing a flat. Yes, I'm living in paradise, but my mind wants more. So I actually ended up coming back to the UK. I did a load of traveling. I went around South America, and then ended up staying in the UK after that. Got a job in an estate agency, in one of the corporate agencies in Sale, South Manchester. And just dove right into it, to be honest. Got really into it. I've always had a passion for property from day one. Always loved, you know, renovating my own places and learning the trades as well. Again, I'm a doer. Yeah. It's all coming back to that, just expending physical energy constantly, you know, doing things, and trying to be successful at the same time. So got a job in an estate agency. Ended up leaving that, going to Purple Bricks as a like a regional like valuer. Did really well with that. I was one of the top performers in that, which was cool. Worked really, really hard. But again, that was sort of my first taste of, well, say self-employed, but again, you're working for Purple Bricks, so it wasn't fully self-employed. You're under their rules, but you're a limited company. But that was my first taste of like trying to mould my work life around my personal life. You know, sort of going, I'll do evening appointments. You know, I'll do evening evaluations, more convenient for the customer, but actually it also works better for me.
Yeah.
So then I can be renovating my house during the day, and, you know, this, that, and the other. I'll be answering phone calls, be on the move. I can't just sit in front of that laptop 8 hours a day and just, you know, and work that way. I'm just not like that. I have to be doing other things. And I work off the fly. I'm very reactive, you know, proactive at the same time, but in my own kind of way. And I tend to I do a lot in the evenings or weekends and things like that. So yeah, just learning what's right for me and what makes me successful and pushes me to that next level, but that doesn't necessarily fit with the norm. So working for somebody 9 to 5, they're not going to want that kind of attitude of, oh, he's just off, like he's working from a coffee shop because that's where he works best, you know, that's where he gets all his admin done or whatever, you know. They want you sat in an office, don't they?
Yeah.
So that's,
most of the time.
Yeah, that was my first step into that. And then from there, I went and launched an estate agency from scratch, with a business partner at that time. And that's where we met, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you were sourcing a lot of properties in Manchester.
I was passing you lettings.
That's it.
Which should have kept for myself.
Yeah, you should have done. I mean, it helped me at the time.
Mate, everything happens for a reason, you know. Let's face it. I was way too busy with sales that time, and I was glad that I'm doing well with sales, because let's face it, I was making much more money on sales than I would be making on management, which would probably slow me down. However, on the other side of the coin, I would have that residual income now of, I don't know, 100, 150 properties probably.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's where we met, and what clicked straight away was your work ethic. You know, when I gave you the property, I didn't have to think about it. I knew that it's gonna be looked after. You know, you will look after my client, and I won't hear about it until I pass you another one. And that's what I really appreciated, and that's why we've done quite a lot of business. Yeah, we. I can't remember how many it was, but I guess it was good 30, 40 properties that I passed.
Yeah,
through.
easily.
If not more, probably close to 50.
Yeah.
At Rainbow Northwest, we make real estate effortless. Whether you're looking to sell on the market, off market through our exclusive investor database, or via auction, we've got you covered. Plus, we offer top-notch property and project management, including refurbishment for investors. We can help you to build your own portfolio. Let us help you on your real estate journey. Rainbow Northwest, your trusted real estate business partner. And we've done quite a lot of business. So what happened then? Then you went your own way. You sold your shares and you moved on.
Yeah, so unfortunately that relationship sort of exploded. Didn't go too well. I guess it was a fantastic learning curve for me. I learned a lot from, again, running a business, starting a business from scratch, all the marketing and, you know, how to get business, how to form relationships like with people like yourself. Obviously you weren't the only sourcing agent that was passing me properties, but you were by far the best one, you know, giving me the highest quality properties. I knew whatever you passed me would just work. It wouldn't need any, you know, wouldn't need a refurb, or I wouldn't need a refurb after the refurb, kind of thing that I was getting, unfortunately, from other agents. So yeah, I mean, look, obviously that built up that lettings agency. I was doing sales as well at the same time. We built a big team. I think estate agency's hard now. The fees aren't what they used to be. It's a race to the bottom. Everyone's paying, you know, you can sell your house for 500 quid now, can't you, with a local agent, because they want the business. But as you know, the Rightmove fees, Zoopla fees, just the running, the staffing, you know, your fuel, your time, your energy, your for sale, all the little things that people don't think about. You know, you're paying for a for sale board for someone to put it up, take it down, change the sign from for sale to sold.
Everything.
Yeah. Go get it at the end, or if it gets broken.
ICO, professional indemnity insurance, you know, anti-money laundering supervision.
Yeah.
Which is...
where does it stop? You know, there's just always someone that just wants another thing. And that's without anything going wrong. You know, or you having to dig into your pocket to fix something, or, you know, well, whatever. So, yeah. So, no, I mean, I did love that time. Unfortunately, the relationship sort of broke down. I won't go too much into detail on it, but, you know, people change when there's money involved.
Yep.
I went through a bit of a tough time, I will say. You know, I didn't really enjoy sort of receiving solicitor letters and, you know, stuff like that. And it's not something I dealt with. I've always felt that I'm very genuine, very honest, very transparent, and I'd continue to do that. But unfortunately, this other individual just didn't want me working or doing anything elsewhere. So yeah, it turned into a bit of a legal battle, which I didn't enjoy. Anyway, it all got quashed. I walked away with what should have been mine at the time. You know, after that separation, shall we say? And I was, you know, what I did was completely legit and. Yeah, shouldn't have ever got to that point, but unfortunately, you know, sometimes
that's life,
you know?
mate. You know,
So,
you can't predict things, unfortunately. You know,
that's it.
I had business partner as well, you know, before. So
yeah, I know you. We've both had our fair share, haven't we, of you know, sort of unreliable individuals and things. But it's how you move on from that.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's how you learn.
It's like anything, you know. It's again just a lesson.
Yeah.
Lesson to learn. When it hits you with some bill you have to pay, or money should have been yours,
Yeah.
and they're not there, so
That's it.
it's tough, but that's life,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
It's how you pick yourself up, right? It's how you move
yeah.
on. And do you know what? The more...
It's the way we chose,
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way
Exactly.
I'm thinking about it. Sometimes when I start feeling kind of like sorry for myself, I'm thinking myself, listen, you man with two balls, get a fucking grip, and this is the life you chose.
chose
You
this
wanted
life.
to be in a business.
Exactly.
There you go,
Exactly.
motherfucker.
Exactly. And it's not easy,
You're gonna
right?
deal with it.
It's not
That's
easy.
it. It's not
Yeah,
easy, mate.
yeah.
Nothing is easy. Every
Yeah.
day is a different challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that's just in a property. It's in general life. If the business goes well and you're making great money, then your personal life starts going down because you don't have enough time to spend with your missus or your family. It's always something. It's hard, very, very hard. I don't think you can ever find a perfect balance.
Because you always want more.
You always want more. Yeah.
And this is what I'm trying to control myself with a little bit of like not
go too far and enjoy the life, because you can find yourself being in 60s and thinking, fucking hell, where the last 20 years gone?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You've just worked yourself to the grave, which isn't what any of us want, So
No.
it's working smart, yeah.
Yeah.
And understanding what works for you as an individual, rather than what works for everybody else.
Yeah.
So what works for you, what works
It's
for your
individual
family.
for everyone.
Yeah.
And, we all like different things.
Sure.
You like cars, I like cigars.
Yeah.
I've been to cigar event in London and really, really enjoyed it. Just business people, like-minded people, decent conversations, not bullshit, so we all like different things. And I think, would you agree that at some point of your life, you even have to find your thing, what do you like, and just focus on it?
Definitely.
Because you can never be happy if you don't do what you enjoy.
Yeah.
Money is great, but making money and doing something that you fucking hate, and you go to work or your business with good feeling, you can't even have a breakfast properly because you fucking hate it. There is no point.
Yourself. Yeah. But it's also understanding what is your passion, but keeping it as your passion.
Yeah.
I think business owners...
Keep it separate?
Yeah, we can be very guilty of, I love doing that, I'm going to make that my business. And then you make it your business and then you hate it.
Right.
Because suddenly, you're forced to do it. It's related to money.
Good point.
It's staying in your lane, right? It's having your business, which is what, obviously you need to enjoy it. You need to have some sort of passion for it. But your passion's outside of business. So like mine is cars, yeah?
Yeah.
I like racing. I like just vintage cars. I like fixing them, whatever. I can spend all weekend, right?
Doing it.
In my garage.
Yeah.
Laid under my car. After working however many hours that week, stressed as anything.
Yeah.
And people are like, what do you mean? Like you're refurbing your house or like you're working on your car at the weekend? Like, don't you have a break? But that is my break.
Yeah.
Yes, it's still physical, but my mind doesn't stop.
But it's your switch off point.
Yeah. My mind just does not stop. Yeah. It's just racing, thinking about the next thing. What can I do? What can I do today? What can I do? Yeah. So I have to channel that somehow. And my way of channeling that is still physically doing something, but something that I enjoy, and I do it at my own pace.
Yeah.
So now, again, I think about when I worked for Ford, Toyota, Renault back in the day as a mechanic. You're up against the clock, you're having to do stuff to a timesheet, you're trying to hit bonus, so you're trying to be quick. But now when I do it for myself, I'm probably the slowest man out there doing it because I just enjoy it and I kind of enjoy that process now rather than, I'm going to do that because I need to get it done.
Rushing it.
Yeah. I'm like, I know, I enjoy like fabricating something, welding something, making something that fits, So like now for my race car, I'm doing all like winter upgrades now, and I'm like, right, how can I make the chassis stronger? How can I, bigger brake kits? What do I need to do with the suspension? Like if I tweak this, if I tweak that, if I put that like that. It's just sitting and thinking about it and calculating it and then doing it. But I'm not like, right, I need to have these brakes on by 12 o'clock and then I'm out doing this and then I'm the next thing. Like that doesn't interest me. So if it gets to that, then it's not my passion.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. So I build the car and then I go and race it on a weekend.
Right.
You know, so that's why.
And then what? You sell them later on, and you build another one, or
So just purely for me. So I've got the 2 classic cars. One that's annoyingly it's just in storage at the moment, but that's like my weekend car.
Okay. What is it?
Ford Mustang
Wow.
from 1966. So I've restored that completely and had some amazing memories. So like with my now wife, like trips around the UK, just days out, going to shows, like whatever, you know, so us two and the dog, and we'll go to the beach and, you know, whatever. So that's really cool. So that's like the sort of experience, sort of like together, sort of like weekend car, which is really, really cool. And then the race car, another Mustang, but from 1965. And then that is, obviously it's hard to enjoy that together in the same kind of way. So it's different experiences, but we'll go to the track together. We'll spend the weekend together. Obviously I'm out racing, but my wife, she's like really, really supportive with that, and like comes along and cheers me on, and
that's
all
cool.
that sort of stuff. So that's really cool. But it's just a different way of, you know, obviously it's more weighted to me, that experience. Yeah. So, you know, but again, then I
that's your switch off again, you know.
It is, but then I hold a lot of guilt
and...
for that.
Right.
Because then I'm putting all this time into what is my hobby and my time.
I get it.
You know, so I'm just trying to get that balance of what works for
both.
Yeah, what works for both of us as a like a family unit, and what her enjoyment is. Like, so if we're gonna do this, does she also enjoy it? Luckily, she loves cars. She loves like, you know, go-karting and racing. So I always try and get her like a little like supercar experience, you know, like so race weekend last year at Silverstone, she got to drive Aston Martin around the track and stuff. So, you know, trying to find ways of integrating her into the experience as well, so that it's not just all about me, because that's not what I want. Yes, it is my thing, it's my passion, but I don't want it to just be like, oh, Simon's just going away on his own again this weekend to go and race cars. Like, you know, how can I integrate that and enjoy it with other people?
My next guest in this podcast is actually a guy called Michael, and he's blind from birth.
Wow.
And he's racing cars.
Amazing. Wow.
I think he's done some world records as well.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be really interesting to see that.
That's really cool. Interesting. So I met him. I went for one business networking event.
Sure.
And he was doing presentation, and he was talking about self-belief, you know, when he had the passion to cars, and he believed he can drive them.
Amazing.
And he's done some records, going like 200 miles on the racetrack, and it's just next level. Honestly, inspired me so much. Like, if this guy who never saw the light, you know, he can do whatever he wanted to do, you know, where is our limitation?
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Well, exactly. Yeah.
It's like, what's the limit for us?
Right. If you want to do it, you can do it. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, exactly. But you can do whatever you want, but also like try and maintain some sort of focus on why are you doing it just because you can?
Yeah.
Or are you doing it for a reason?
For a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, are you doing
there
it for
always
your
should
enjoyment?
be some higher reason.
Or is it for business? Or is it for enjoyment? Is it personal? What, you know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And again, it's finding that balance, isn't it? Because me 5-10 years ago, it's like, I'll do it. Everything. Yeah. Everything. And I'll do it. And I'll do a really good job of it all. Yeah. I mean, there's that saying, right? If you want something doing, ask a busy person. Yeah. I'm that busy person.
Yeah.
So then I get more and more load, and then everyone comes to me and asks me to do something because they know I'll do it, and I'll do a really good job of it.
You never say no.
Never say no. But then I'm so stupidly busy, you know?
Yeah.
So again, I'm really trying to like wire myself in and be like, don't take anything more on. Just concentrate on the core few things that you want to do. You know,
you need something that bring you money.
That's it.
That make you money enough to live on, you know, and then you need things that you enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you need money to pay for your passions, great. Well, that's fine, you know, do that. But focus on that. Get that one thing right, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You know, instead of, I think as business owners, we're very guilty of, like, oh, I've started this. Oh, it's going okay. Oh, but I could also add that on.
Yeah.
Oh, I can also, and then you're your
Spreading
resources spread out
Yeah.
so much that you're doing a mediocre job on lots of different things. Whereas if you just go all in on one thing that you know can work, make that work, and then you can then grow from there. You know, build a team below you if that's what you want to do. But again, not everybody wants a massive company and a massive team. Some people just want a good lifestyle business that gives them a good salary, lots of flexibility, and to spend time with family. And that works.
Yeah.
You know,
It's again individual.
Yeah.
You know, what works for you.
exactly. Do you want a £100 million turnover business?
If you
Or do you
if you want that, go for it.
Do you want 200 grand a year and you have a great life and loads of free time?
Yeah.
And you don't have the worry of 10 staff, you know, maybe to get yourself one admin staff.
Stakeholders and all that.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's finding out what works for you whilst also, I guess, just kind of like getting straight in your head what your limits are or what you do and don't want, and progressing from there, really, yeah. So it's...
Tenerife.
Yes.
Did you buy a place there?
No.
No, okay.
No.
Because I know that you spent some time in there. Sometimes you've been there like for a month or a couple of weeks time.
So my wife's from Tenerife originally, hence the links why we go. So she's from the north of the island, which is stunning, like absolutely beautiful part of the world. It's very green. It's
I've
like
only
here.
been in south, obviously. You know where the beaches are.
Yeah. So the
but
south.
I've seen pictures. You know, it's more like forests
That's
and
it.
mountains
That's it.
and
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. So it can be a little bit cooler than the south. Obviously, there's a little bit more rain. Certainly than the south. The south's very dry and sort of kind of desert really. And then the north's very green and lush and stuff like that. So it's beautiful. So yeah, we try and go as much as we can. We got married there nearly 3 years ago. So again, spent a month or so out there as well at that time. Would love to buy somewhere there.
Yeah.
Would absolutely love to. We just haven't found the right one, haven't been in position. Yeah. Every time it's like, you want to do something, but then there's something else and, whatever. So yeah, it's just getting that. It will happen.
Would you move out at some point?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'd both love to. Again, it's just when's the right time.
Yeah.
So you either have to make it the right time and say, right, we're doing it, or you have to work to that and you say, right, I've got a 5-year plan, but then that 5-year plan turns to 10 years and it turns to 15 years because you're always taking something else on.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't think you would ever retire in the UK because of your experience with traveling.
I don't know if I'll ever retire. Like, stop. That's the problem.
Okay, yeah. You will never retire, mate.
That's the problem.
I think you will be fixing cars for someone in 70s.
Yeah, no.
Where's Simon?
If I just keep doing it for myself. That's all right. I don't mind that. Yeah. No, it's good. It's so random, like when you think about it as well. It's like property, and then he's fixing cars and whatever. But yeah, it just it is what it is. It's cool. I like it, and that's what's important.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, like on that side of things, you've also got the argument of, people say to me, well, why don't you just pay someone to do it? That like your time is a lot more valuable. I'm like, yes, it is, but the value that I put on fixing my own cars for my own mental health, for my for my
enjoyment as well,
for my enjoyment and disconnecting from the outside world.
Yeah,
that's the value it gives me back. So to me, it's worth me doing it more than it is paying someone else. So that's where that comes from, really.
Did you learn a lot while you've been in the property business?
Yeah, of kind of who to
business
trust.
mind or who to trust as well.
Business mind, not just trusting everyone. I think I'm very guilty of just assuming everyone's genuine.
Yeah.
Not anymore, maybe.
Same.
But I think previously I've always maybe a bit naive and
it's a skill you have to learn. Yeah.
But I don't like being on the defensive from like as soon as you meet someone. Yeah.
You have to be careful because it's no good as well to think that everyone is fucker and everyone will steal from you, and there are great people out there. You can do the business. Just because my business relationship didn't go well doesn't mean I'm never gonna have business partner. It just probably wasn't the right one.
Yeah. Well, this is it. So yeah, I mean, look, we've had very similar kind of experiences in that sense, haven't we, with ex-business partners. I'm really proud to say now that the business partner that I've got, Alexander, amazing. Like we get on so well. We share the same core values. but in and outside of work, which I think is why we've gelled so well. You know, we both want that flexibility. We like spending time with our families. You know, we have that kind of wider thinking of what's important to us rather than just what the bottom line is on, you know, on the financials. So that's worked really well. I do actually, whilst I can do it all myself, not, maybe rephrase that slightly, like I have the ability to, you know, to set up something on my own and to push it and to grow it, but I like having a business partner.
Yeah. Someone you can rely on,
Yeah.
someone, you know, who is there while you're not there, and
That's it. It's
It's
having
good.
that flexibility, but obviously that business partner needs to bring something to the table as well.
Yep.
Yeah, which is what hasn't really happened previously. But now, you know, we have very different skill sets, and I've sort of taught myself to, I don't have to do it all now. I can rely on that other person, and that person can also rely on me, and that's been a massive learning curve for me, but also a very important one. Like I say, you can't trust everybody, but when you do find that person you can trust and rely on, I think it's very, very important to maintain that relationship.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. So you learned a lot about people as well.
Yeah, I think even in property, it's people first, property second, in a strange kind of way, because
you get different clients as well.
yeah, oh god,
you know,
yeah,
you get clients who want you to do the legwork for free, and you get clients who will send you desserts, you know, flowers and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's then you've got, I don't know, people who you work with who are great, and people who are not loyal at all.
Yeah,
and they would fuck you over for £5 basically.
That's it.
That's the world of the
unfortunately
property.
is, yeah. But you know,
and it's not just the property. I'm not saying that because we are in that kind of business. It's everywhere. I think
everywhere.
It's people. You know,
it's people first.
Yeah.
Everything's people first. So yeah, it's surrounding yourself with the right people always. Again, you know, I've never been a massive sort of networker and stuff like that. I've always kind of kept my circle very small and not been too out there. I think, you know, I'm probably not very good at sort of building my own personal brand and stuff, you know, and just that consistency of putting information out, videos out and whatever, you know, about me or about what I'm doing and things like that. You know, I do a lot in the background, but nobody really knows about it. And I think even today, there's probably a lot that you're learning about me that you never kind of like knew before as well. Even our sort of chat before coming on here, and it's like, oh wow, I didn't even know you're doing that now. And you know, it's like, because I keep myself to myself in that regard. I don't want to go out and shout about it. I don't want everybody to know like what I'm doing and things like that. But
it's called imposter syndrome, by the way.
Is it? Right. Okay. Well, I've got a lot of that then. But
it's just a thing that might not be that syndrome, but it's kind of syndrome when you know you do well.
Yeah.
You know because you proved yourself. The reason why you sat in that chair is because you are loyal. You are loyal.
Yeah.
And that's what I really liked about you. You know, when you said something, we didn't have to sign any contracts.
Sure.
You know, you always kept your word.
Yeah.
And that's what made you stand out. And that's why I was passing you one after another one property, because I knew that when you said to me, Martin, I will look after this client, you always did.
Yeah.
And I never heard from that client anymore until they bought another one.
Yeah.
You know, so what I would tell you as an advice, you know, sometimes you don't praise yourself enough. You know, you've done a lot, mate. You know, you build a business. You're in the business now, in a great business. You know, sometimes you have to, you know, praise yourself for what you do. And I know it's tough, but the world we live in at the moment is social media world. And unfortunately, you know, sometimes I'm the same. Sometimes I don't want to take pictures. I don't want to share online, but that's the way we live in. You know, the reason why I'm sharing this and why I want to bring some value, hopefully, is because I've got great people in my circle. And if people will hear these stories, you know, there is always someone out there who's probably starting where we were 10 years ago. You know?
Yeah, no, I think I've always just, like, what I want is for people to see that loyalty, that
Yeah.
dedication, but you build that face to face.
Yeah,
and,
of
you
course,
know,
of
and
course.
with that contact. Not
Your
not from
circle
what
will
you,
become small, unfortunately. And, every person who was here, I asked the same question, like, how many people in your circle do you think that genuinely want you to succeed? If you would count them.
So, yeah, well, I would say my whole circle want me to succeed and give me their support. But that's because,
Is it more than 5?
No.
So,
But that is because that is my
and
circle, you know. And I've built that
That
circle.
was the every single one answer to
yeah,
this
yeah,
question,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
It's handful people.
Yeah.
And that's reality.
Yeah.
And it's nothing wrong about it,
Yeah.
you know. Unfortunately, you know, we get to the point in life when your circle have to be small, you know, because there's not many loyal people out there.
Well, that's it. And there's also, I would say, even, you know, sort of like friendship and family, I would say the majority of them probably don't really know what I do,
Yeah.
to be honest. You know, it's not really something I prefer to, whilst I can talk about business all day long.
Yeah.
And that's probably the one thing that I can talk about a lot,
Yeah.
which probably annoys a lot of people, so I kind of try not to. And I'm trying to make myself be a bit more like, you know, sort of social, but yeah, just sort of, I don't know, being able to talk about other things. And sort of, you know, I guess when you've got such a like heavy passion in one thing, it's hard to sort of, I'm not very good at like small talk, like for example, you know, but if I'm talking about a subject that I know and I love and I'm really good at or got a lot of understanding,
you can
talk all night. Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of getting that balance, but it's, you know, life's a learning curve, right? But yeah, a lot of people don't really know what I do. They don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
Yeah.
They see me every now and then and be like,
driving your fancy Mustang.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, you're always away, or like you're doing this, you're doing that, and like
you're doing well.
But you're not seeing all the grind.
12, 14
in the
hours you have to put in every single one day. You know, it's always behind the scenes.
That's
you know, people don't see it. They just see what you put on Facebook or Instagram.
That's
you know,
it.
if you
only post the good stuff, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I'm putting like quite a lot of car content out there at the moment, just because again that's like my little passion, and I'm doing like a YouTube channel for the racing and like, the building and like, you know, what I'm doing in the garage at night, and then like clips of racing and, you know, what's going on and what I'm doing, because again, like, I mean, I've never raced until last year. Like, that was my first season. I've always loved like rental go-karting, and I've always had this kind of itch that I've wanted to do, you know, to race properly or do something. So just randomly got into it, you know. So I was like, right, I'm going to do it. Decided I was going to do it. Went, bought a race car and and did a season, you know.
Yeah.
So I've done my first season. My rookie sticker's off the car now, so that's good. But I have, you know, properly gone from rookie, never raced on a racetrack, to I am now, you know, I've got my license and I'm racing and I'm competing, you know, and it's all for fun. I'm not in like, you know, championship. I'm not Lando Norris, you know. But
did you win any?
No. So again, it's tough. Like, so I've entered into a couple of different series. My car is very underpowered engine-wise, which is something I'm trying to resolve over winter, compared to the rest of the field. So
couple
again,
turbos.
Well, just a bigger engine basically. I need just more power. But I didn't get into it for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, I don't really care if I win.
Yeah.
I just love doing it.
It's just enjoyment and
I just love
the
doing
passion
it.
of
riding. My best was at Brands Hatch last year in a series called Swinging 60s, so it's all like 60s era cars, and that was really cool. I started right at the back of the pack, I don't know, like 30th or something. Ended up 19th and 5th in class, so I think that was like my best one. But again, it was it's just
for
fun.
enjoyment.
Like, I just enjoy it.
Yeah,
I just enjoy it. I'm not sort of thinking like, oh, I need to be on the podium, because you're not winning any money. There's no prize money. You're winning like a £10 trophy. Like, who really cares? Do you know what I mean? You know, so it's not about that for me. It's about the experience, about prepping the car, thinking about, you know, what I'm going to do, learning to drive it.
Yeah.
You know,
I bet it's for most of them people who are there, you know, out of 30.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't think everyone is going there, I need to win this. There is not 10 million prize in it. You know?
I mean, it depends. There's some very competitive people, you know, turn up with like massive lorries and this, that, and the other, and I'm just sort of like, oh my God, like, yeah. But, you know, I've turned up with a car from the 1960s, leaf springs on the back, like, you know, proper. Well, it's all sort of like period correct, original kind of suspension, steering and stuff. So you imagine that compared to you driving like your new BMWs and whatever like nowadays, you know. And then you imagine that on track, driving at, you know, 100, 120 mile an hour, like trying to corner and brake and whatever. And it's like, you know, so it's sort of, you know, it's sloppy. It's like it's very agricultural. So it's just another learning, like it's something else to learn, like how to drive that style of car as well.
Yeah.
You know, you could jump in a brand new Caterham or race car Mini or, you know, whatever, Audi, whatever, and it be on rails, and it's such a bit boring.
Yeah.
Whereas you get into this and you're having to, you know,
do you need to have a helmet or something?
Yeah. So proper fire suit, gloves, balaclava, helmet, like a hands device which like straps you in and stops your head
in case
stops
you
your
would
neck breaking when you crash, basically, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's proper, you know, it's quite full on, like all your fire extinguishers and roll cages and stuff. So yeah, it's quite up there. But yeah, it's
lots of adrenaline when you drive it.
Listen, like I live off dopamine. Yeah.
Okay.
That is what.
So this is like couple injections.
Oh my god, yeah. But it's funny because your interest can really drop in stuff. So even this, like, even though I love this, now we're in the off season, I'm just like, am I even bothered about racing next year? Kind of feel like I've done it now.
Okay.
But that's not how I truly feel.
Yeah.
But those thoughts creep in because you're like, oh, you know, it's a lot of money. Am I bothered? Like, there's other stuff I could be doing. Blah blah blah. But I know. Well, I mean, I'm mega excited about the first race anyway already. But I know when I turn up to the first race next year, it's just going to completely shift my mind again and be like,
yeah,
what's that
this
about?
Is what I want to do.
This is what I want to be doing. But your adrenaline dies down.
Yeah.
The dopamine wears off. So you have to keep, you know, that's my issue. I have to keep chasing that dopamine, keep chasing that hit, and like the thrill of a deal, thrill of selling a property, you know, the thrill of finding a new client and just doing a good job for them. All of that's dopamine for me, you know, winning a new contract, getting a property over the line, finding a tenant, finding an off-market deal, you know, doing all those little things. That to me, like, it's sad, but that's like exciting to me. And that's what keeps me going. So, yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about the company you work on now. So your long-term strategy is to build it to certain numbers and then exit. Is that correct?
Yeah, ideally. So we are working on a really big project at the moment. I'm not going into too many sort of like finer details, but it's a maintenance company, basically. Looking to serve a national contract. Yeah. So for reactive repairs, maintenance and like void work, which is sort of like refurbs.
Call outs maybe when there is an issue, leak. Yeah. Any sort of problems?
Anything.
Yeah. So it can be boiler, it can be plumbing, it can be anything. Roof.
Yeah. So we have a team of reactive engineers, and then we have a team of void engineers. So the void engineers is like your empty properties that need a refurb.
Right.
So it could be anything from redecoration, carpets, needing kitchen, bathroom,
up to full,
whatever it might
full
be.
hit.
Exactly. Yeah. And then planned works as well. So a lot of the stock that we work on will have like a planned maintenance schedule over, say, 10, 15, 20 years. Mm-hmm. As it gets to the 10-year point, they're earmarked for that's potentially going to need a new kitchen. It then gets inspected by that particular company. They then say, yes, okay, it does or doesn't, or it can last a couple more years. It's been really well looked after, or we'll bring it forward, whatever it may be. Then we're then pricing, and then obviously bidding on that work, those tenders. We've set up a cleaning division as well. So we've got a cleaning team, so general monthly communal cleans on stocks, whether that be HMOs, larger kind of blocks for social housing, supported living, that kind of stuff. And then your specialist cleans, so end of tenancy cleans, or
after refurb cleans and stuff like that.
Builders cleans, all that sort of thing. So this is like
one of the biggest projects you've been working on.
This is the biggest project I've worked on, ever, definitely. Especially just given the scale of, you know, it's very different to me running around selling a property here or there, or working on property, you know, that kind of stuff. This is now board of directors, board meetings every 2 months, submitting board papers, holding ourselves accountable, setting targets, you know, building a team. We hire everyone. We don't subcontract. Everybody's hired. our own branded vans. You know, the guys are all in their uniforms. Got obviously the admin team. This is like as
proper company.
In my world, this is like as proper as it can get. But again, obviously that comes with its challenges as well. It's a very different mindset. Sort of running around on your own, or just a small team and just doing little deals and stuff like that. This is a real like structure. It's reporting, ensuring the team report to you, finding the right team members, acting quickly if the team members aren't performing. You know, that's one thing I've learned over the years, is you have to react quickly.
Right.
Because things can just turn toxic very quickly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you've got the wrong team members in place, you know, they can ruin customer relationships. They can just ruin deals. Your income can go down just for having that wrong person within your team. So it's very important to just consistently offer training, help them, push that team to where you want them to be, but also identify if there are gaps that can't be solved. And unfortunately, you know, if you need to move that person on, you need to move that person on.
Hire slowly and be able to sack them fast if needed, you know.
Yeah, but it depends where you are in your journey as a company.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know,
I had to learn that in.
It's like you've got to get to a certain size to pay the bills, to, you know, to to obviously cover all the work.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily have that luxury of hiring slowly or even firing quickly. If you do have the wrong people in place.
Yeah, 100%.
So, you know, look, we've been fortunate. We've got a great team in place, but you know, I'm just sort of talking kind of more generally. But yeah, it is important just as a business owner to understand, you know, those steps. And
numbers are important in business, you know, unfortunately. And as much as you appreciate, you know, everyone, if someone is not on the same wavelength and they don't want to perform, unfortunately, there is someone out there who wants to do that job and who will do it miles better. That's the skill you have to learn. It took me a while in recruitment when I was, you know, responsible for people, but unfortunately it's part of the process. Sometimes you've got to do it, you know.
It's easy to convince yourself that you can fix that person as well.
Yeah.
You see the glimmers of hope. And
I've tried many times, mate.
They'll get it. Yeah. Like another month.
You know how many times I was sat at disciplinary with some people, and it was just stupid attendance, nothing, not even performance, just attendance. And mate, if you can't turn for your work on time and the days you've got on your rota, you know, like what else is there?
That's it.
What else?
It's that reliability, isn't it?
It's
you can be the greatest worker, but if you're not reliable, then you're not a great worker.
And you know, some people I remember, you know, they were like after universities and all that, and they thought just because they've got uni, you know, they own the world, but they couldn't even fucking turn up on time.
Yeah. Did you go to uni?
Work. No, I didn't. No,
I didn't either, no.
My sister did.
Right.
To a couple of them.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you regret not going? Would you have gone?
No. I don't regret, to be honest with you. I never been a great student. I wasn't daft. I would say. I would say I was a clever guy in terms of I could learn quickly.
Sure.
And that's how I learned English, for example, quite fast. It took me, I don't know, half a year to be able to put some sentences together, and then probably after first year I was able to have normal conversation. And in that sense I was quite switched on, that I could learn fast. I just couldn't be arsed. I was lazy for learning. And unfortunately, you know, I went and I was working abroad. You know, I worked in Austria. I went to Germany as well. I went to UK first time in 2004 when I finished my college after GCSE. That was the first time in the UK. I was in Stoke-on-Trent. After a couple of months, we went back with my mate. We made some money, and then I was working in Slovakia. Then I went to Germany, Holland. So I was always traveling. And I knew that, I don't know, going to uni for 4 or 5 years, if it's not something you've got really, really passion for, you know, I don't know how it's in the UK, but in Slovakia, for example, the country I'm from, those days that you came out from the uni and you had perfect job lined up for you are gone. Yeah. It's not happening anymore.
Yeah, I think it's shifted.
It's about reliability. You know, you you can have primary school, not even GCSE, and you can be the most successful businessman in the world, you know? Yeah. It's not about that. It's about work ethic. It's about reliability, you know, integrity, and all these values that you need to have in order to succeed, in my personal opinion.
Completely agree. Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, yeah, I don't...
Because I met people who thought that just because of their title in front of the name, they were more than you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's not necessarily the truth. You know, they have to look in the mirror and see the reality, basically.
Well, and everyone learns different, right?
Yeah.
You know, so you've got the studious group and you've got the doer group. I think that's really the
main.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, look, if people are out there, you know, wants to go to uni because they've got passion for, I don't know, biology, because that's what they... My very good friend, Carolina, she's a teacher. She teaches biology. That's why she went to uni, because she wanted to be a teacher. Sure. And I think she will be teacher forever because she loves it.
Just has that passion.
You know, she's got passion for it. Yeah. She's got passion to teach kids about biology. You know, it's if that's the case, go to uni, 100%.
Yeah, because you're not saying that kind of job by not going to uni. So
you need that title to be able to teach kids in college, for example. Exactly. But if there is no passion and you're only doing it because your parents want you to go to uni, I think it's pointless, in my opinion. Yeah. It's a waste of time. Yeah, because those 5 years, you know very well, you can build something.
Yeah, you can.
Something where you've got your passion or learn new skills.
That's it. Yeah, but it can also go wrong.
Of course.
So it's all, you know, it's
one of those. But
it's how you learn, isn't it? It's
you never know unless you try. You know?
Exactly. So it depends on everyone's individual personality and what their goals are, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and how they, you know, how they adapt and how they learn. I think, there's no one right thing for anyone. You know, I think anyone can sort of sit there and be like, oh, you don't need to go to uni. Because, of course, like you've even just mentioned there, like, yeah, but if you want a certain job, then, of course you need to go to uni.
Course,
you know,
of course.
And that's the thing. And owning a business, over the last few years, I'm seeing a lot more, like, bit more of a like social media agenda of people certainly pushing to the younger generation that... To
be business in the
own
business.
Own a business, yeah. Don't work for anyone, escape the 9 to 5, Great if you're that kind of person, you know, and you can follow that through and you can build. It's not easy, you know.
It's fucking hard.
This isn't like, and it's weird because, don't get me wrong, we all love money, right? We all love earning well or whatever. But I don't do any of what I do for the money. If that's the outcome and that's a byproduct of what I've done, great. But I love the thrill of building something and pushing something and pushing myself and learning something new. That's what I do it for.
Yeah.
So if you want to earn 200 grand a year, just go to uni and go and head up a company somewhere. Yeah. You know, because
get a position.
Yeah. You know,
that will pay you 200k.
Work your 9 to 5, have your weekends off, and spend your evenings with your family. Like, you know, for a lot of people, and rightly so, that's a great life.
Mate, success means different things to different people.
Different for everybody. Yeah. So you need to, you know, you maybe you start life in business and go, do you know what, this isn't for me, I'll go and work for someone. And you're better running a company as an MD than you are having your own company and get rid of all that stress.
I agree.
We work with a lot of tradespeople, obviously in the maintenance company, who we're seeing more and more of them coming over to employed roles because they're fed up of the race to the bottom on fees. You know, they're fed up of getting called back out to properties, you know, or they're going out, they're quoting, they're not winning the job. You know, they're spending all this time on admin and driving around and quoting and this, that, and the other. They're so stressed because they're thinking about it all their evenings and the weekends. They're not actually able to enjoy their time out. So now a lot of them are coming over to us instead and going, just give me an employed role.
Yeah.
You know, we'll give them a van, we'll give them the tools.
Yeah.
They work their office hours. And then they go home.
I don't think it's for everyone.
It's not for
everyone. To be in a business.
It's not. But
definitely not.
If you've got that little spark in you and you think you can, or you want something better, you've got an idea.
Do it.
And you don't have to know from the beginning.
No.
Test things. I've worked in so many different industries and
jobs.
I
had no idea I will end up in property, to be honest with you. No idea. No. I just wanted a business.
Yeah.
Started with a car wash.
Yeah. Amazing.
There you go.
Yeah, see? Yeah. But well, yeah.
So-
I mean, look at me. Started as a mechanic.
Yeah, you can
then
you
it's
can
property,
try
and then it's
different
maintenance,
things,
and then it's that,
learn.
yeah.
You know, is it working for me? Is it not? Is this what I want to do?
Yeah.
You know,
But also, if you're in a job you don't enjoy,
yeah.
take the risk.
I know people in corporate world who are making much more money than I'm making.
Oh God, yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Working less.
Yeah. So it's
So this is what I'm saying. It's not for everyone. You get your holidays, you get
Yeah.
your sick pay, you get your bank holidays off. You're
but
off for
again,
Christmas.
some of them
you know.
told me that they're not happy
Exactly. So it just depends
because
on you as
they've
an
got
individual.
passion elsewhere,
That's
you know.
right. Yeah.
But some of them told me they are happy,
yeah.
and that's what they want to do forever, you know,
Sure.
because they need that security. They love it, and they are good for the corporate world.
yeah,
You know, they're earning
They need that
high
structure,
salaries,
they need,
but
exactly.
they are great for those companies
Yeah,
because you need
exactly.
them people as well.
Correct.
You
Can't all
can't-
be business owners, can
you
we?
know,
What would happen in the
We,
country?
we can't have
Can
just
you imagine?
CEOs, you know, walking around like Conor McGregor, you know.
Can you imagine? Like, yeah, what would we do? And that's the thing, there's a place, I mean, even sort of like even the lower paid jobs or basic jobs, like less skilled jobs and stuff. There's a place for everyone. And do you know what? Some of the happiest people I've met are people working in like low skilled, low paid jobs
Yeah,
because they're just content with life.
yeah.
And they don't need the money. They don't want any more responsibility. They're happy at that level. Like, you don't have to want more. But if you want more and you decide that's going to make you... But
When you got that inner feeling
Yeah.
and, you know, that inner voice
That's it.
is telling you, pushing you some way,
Yeah.
you got to follow it.
yeah. But
Otherwise,
don't chase it for happiness.
No.
Because that isn't happiness. Happiness is like an internal thing in everyone.
Yeah.
You're not going to say, everyone's like, if I earn 100 grand, I'll be really happy. It's going to help you. It's going to help you in life, and you're going to be able to pay more things, whatever. But your lifestyle is probably going to creep up as well. So actually, you end up earning, or not earning, but left over with the same amount as if you had less, a lower salary because you've then got a bigger house, you've got a bigger mortgage, you've got higher bills, you've got a better car, you've leased this, you leased.
It's always
whatever.
coming with that.
So
you know.
you earn more, but you spend more. So yeah, you've got all this material stuff around you, but are you happy? Like, are you internally happy? And that's a massive question.
I saw people in the corporate world when they advance and they started making really, really good money, being trapped
Yeah.
because their lifestyle changed
it.
as well.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So then you then
And
become reliant on
sometimes
that
the
job.
lifestyle
Yeah.
was even higher than
Yeah.
what they were actually making.
So they have to portray this
So
image.
they couldn't,
and-
if they would stop, they're fucked.
Yeah.
And
Which
that's not a
is-
position you'd want to be in.
No,
it's
massive.
toxic,
It's massive.
you know.
Yeah.
When you think every day that, like, if something happened to my job, I've got all this gone.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But again, I mean, that comes back to the property side, and that's why we've helped investors like over all these years, haven't we? Like yourself and so have I, on building those assets in the background, building that investment portfolio, whatever it may be, And again, there's different investments for everyone and price strategies, and like I've done a lot in the northeast, I've done a lot in the northwest. Depends on strategies, the market conditions,
100%.
all that sort of stuff. But if you've built those assets, you've built that portfolio in the background, in your limited company, or however you decide to do it, that is either your pension fund, it's your inheritance to the kids, it's leaving your legacy behind for them if that's what you want. A lot of people come to me, they just want to build a legacy for the children.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not bothered about, so I'll carry on working till I'm 60, I don't care. I want this for my kids. Yeah. But then other people, they want to build a salary in the background as that backup. And in my eyes, that's like the best way of doing it. If you can then match your salary through whatever investments you decide to do, whether it be property, commercial
Gold,
property,
whatever.
gold, Bitcoin, whatever, like I'll focus on property because that's what my expertise are in. But, if you can build that, you've got that security so that if you ever, if you just wake up on Monday and go, do you know, I can't be arsed with this anymore. I'm just going to leave my job. Yeah? If you're working for someone or whatever it is you're doing, or you want to make a change. If you want to make a change in business, but you're a bit worried about cash flow dropping over that 6-12 month period whilst you make that change, but you've got your assets in the background paying your wage, then that gives you that
100%.
flexibility to
You
do
know,
that in the business.
circumstances are changing. So, for example, this week I've completed on one property in Landau Drive.
Yep.
My client bought it 2020 for 120 grand. We sold it for 195.
Nice.
So she's in Canada now.
Yep.
Her life changed. She just wanted to pull out the money.
Sure.
And she made, I don't know, 60 grand or something on it.
Yeah.
You know, after paying taxes and everything.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just something that accumulated that money that she invested, and I think she bought it with a mortgage, if I'm not wrong. Yes, she did. So she didn't. She put down 25% of 120 grand.
Yeah.
You know, and that made her 60
and then gets
grand
that back now as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get that 60
Another
grand
one.
profit plus the
Another
plus
one.
the deposit.
It's only in legals now, but I've sold it for 230, and they bought it for 140
Yeah, there you
in M28 as well, Worsley. You know, great areas, high capital appreciation.
Yeah.
Yes, the entry was a little bit higher
Sure.
than for properties, let's say, I don't know, in Northeast
yeah.
or Burnley or those little villages. However, you know, 140 now 225.
Exactly. The
You know,
appreciation's amazing.
that's
Yeah,
where the
exactly.
money is. 85 grand
Yeah.
uplift. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and that gives you those options because you could refinance
Yeah.
if you want to keep it. Your circumstances change. You come to the end of your mortgage rate. You know, your fixed
Yeah.
rate, 2 years.
I
5
do
years, you
believe,
think,
you know, real estate is great for parking money in. I don't think you really need to have great company, you know, couple people in the office to be able to generate, you know, a lot of money from a state agency, for example. But
Yeah,
it's
it's hard
definitely
work. It's definitely hard work.
good vehicle for parking money from businesses.
Yeah, I think ultimately, if you've got a successful business, if you're just looking to strengthen that, use those profits and invest in property.
You've got assets that you can
build those
buy,
assets,
and
exactly.
the company straight away is worth more,
That's it.
obviously.
Yeah,
And you know, whatever you will buy for 200k now will be above 300 in a couple of years' time.
exactly. Yeah, the market, generally speaking, always goes up. Again, there's always
Yeah,
dips,
yeah.
But
Market is quiet at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have 10 buyers for each property. You've got 2.
yeah,
You know,
but then the prices are still
maybe
strong.
2
Like,
offers, but
it's
prices are strong.
yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Every property that I sold at the moment on the market was sold minimum for asking price.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of them 5k above in Manchester.
Yeah. I mean,
You
even
know.
the northeast is still utterly mad. You know, the
I had
demand.
first viewings here in Wigan, WN2 postcode, same postcode as this, and first 3 people, first offer, asking price, straight away. There was a cash buyer as well I need to follow up, basically. So, you know, the market is not bad, in my personal opinion. What changed is, in my opinion, is the mindset. And because we've been working a lot with investors, we always look at that as, what's the mindset of investor now?
Yeah.
It changed because of many things.
Definitely.
There was a budget,
Yeah.
there was a renter's bill. We had protests this year in the streets.
Yeah.
It's just not. We had some attacks.
Yeah.
It's not making a great name for the UK to invest, unfortunately. I hope it's going to change. Because it's a great place to invest. My client just made 65 grand by investing 4 or 5 years ago.
Sure. You'll see the trends, though. The investment trends change.
Yeah.
So I think like COVID
it's just
onwards,
mindset, because there was more people willing to buy. And that's why 21, 22, you had 10, 15 people targeting one property. 5 of them were investors. They were overbidding themselves.
That's right.
Every property was selling 10, 15k above asking price.
Yeah, it was a crazy time, wasn't it? Really?
Which is not the case
mad.
now,
Yeah.
but they still sell.
Yeah.
And they will grow.
As well. And then you think since then, obviously the changes to the stamp duty as well. So the stamp duty
2%
surcharge for overseas buyers.
So it was 5% for my
now
client
they're paying
before,
7
now it's 7.
minimum. Which
It's
is
5
mad.
for UK investor.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of extra.
Lots of things change, but in my opinion, if your strategy in real estate is long term, it's definitely worth to invest. 100%.
But
You
it's
will
just-
make money.
Yeah, being clever of where you invest.
But you need to keep it for 5 to 10 years,
Yeah, I agree.
ideally,
Yeah.
as a minimum 5 years.
Yeah, I agree.
You won't. It won't make you wealthy in 2 years' time.
No. Well, the thing is, there's so many people out there saying how, you earn all this money in
Gurus.
property overnight and whatever, but you just don't.
No.
Even the flips, all the flips I see from like sourcing edge, 15 grand profit. Well, what's the point in that? That's basically going to be paying. That's all your tax.
I was selling my
so
flip
what's the point?
for a year, the first one.
Yeah.
Mortgage expired.
Yeah.
We had to find another buyer, and another buyer. And then eventually
it's
it
never
completed.
easy.
So
Yeah.
it's not like when I was counting what we made, across those 12 months, it was kind of fuck all, to be honest with
Well,
you.
yeah, because then you've got your empty council
If I
tax
was
surcharge.
relying only on that,
Yeah.
that's something you can do aside.
Yeah.
You
Completely
still
agree.
have to keep
It's
going
worth
and
doing them.
making.
It's worth
Yeah,
diversifying
100%.
always, don't get me wrong.
100%.
But these,
Some
these
people are
shiny
making
profit
fortune,
margins, they're just
you know.
not,
Finding properties in auction and then selling on. Sometimes they don't even do the work. I've seen one
just trade
one
them.
strategy where they do just rip out of the floors,
Yeah.
keep it clean,
Sure.
free of any furniture, and
Yeah.
they just sell it on.
Yeah.
Which is less hassle.
Trading. Yeah.
If it's going to make you 5 to 10k per property, why not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then again, I've met a few traders and spoken to them, on their strategy and its volume.
Yeah, it's about volume.
They'll win on some, lose on others. They'll have big losses and they'll have big wins. But over the period, as long as they're up over the 12-month period, then obviously they're happy. But it's gambling.
You've heard about properties where there was a mine shaft apparently in a garden and no one knew. Only when they completed. I have no idea how this didn't come up on searches. Maybe they skipped searches, I don't know. But there are those instances where you can't even get a mortgage on it.
Well, then it affects you, doesn't it? On the
of course, because
like that, so.
you might lose profits from 3-4 other properties that went well, But again, how you come back from it?
Exactly.
Is this going to kill you, or is it just another lesson that you have to learn and move on?
And you've got to go into everything with a backup plan as well.
Yeah.
So if you can't flip it, are you going to rent it? Is that your plan?
Yeah.
Are you going to refinance? Are you going to rent it?
Keep it.
And again, like all these bridging loans and stuff, all these no money down deals and stuff, but like
they don't exist, mate. There's always money. So
yeah,
even if I take silly example, like okay, no money down, you find a deal that you don't have to put much money. Sure. There is always money. Yeah. Who's going to pay for solicitor?
Exactly.
Is it the seller who will pay for your solicitor? Because that's 1,500.
Yeah, exactly.
Minimum
now. Yeah.
Then who's paying for council tax when the property is vacant until you do the refurb and until you sell it? Who's paying for that? Even if it's basic charge for utilities, it's still something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's not £5.
Yeah. No, exactly.
It's a couple £100 a month.
That's it. Yeah. I think it's just doing especially with like new investors, like people who are not very experienced in it. You just need to do your research. You need to find. I tend to not really work with inexperienced investors anymore. We're at a certain price level, certain entry level, certain type of strategy as well that doesn't really work for first-time investors. A lot of stuff that we do is sort of bigger builds. It'll be sort of large-scale sort of conversions, so like commercial to resi conversions and stuff like that, which is great. But you need to have, you need to have an amount of cash, to do that. But also, you need to have that right mindset.
Yeah.
You need to have worked with us before on other projects to understand how we work, because otherwise, someone brand new coming into say a 600k project, or a commercial to resi project, they're not going to have understood that process before. They're probably going to be panicking quite early in, because it's a massive investment for them. So yeah, we tend to sort of, again, our client base, it's much like my personal circle. It's very small.
Mm-hmm.
We've worked out over the years who's reliable, who's got the funds, who's got the willingness to continue buying. And then we just recycle. We just keep buying for these same people over and over again, rather than having to start each month brand new, find a new investor, find a new client, spend a load.
So you've
of
done
marketing.
lots of work in Northeast as well. Many people are scared for Northeast because obviously the capital appreciation is not that great as what we've seen in Northwest. When you take into consideration Manchester, Liverpool, they were growing fast.
But then
maybe too fast, I would say. Those
look at
years.
Some areas of Manchester, Liverpool, you could buy a property in Oldham 3-4 years ago, 60 grand.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, they're now like 110, 120 needing work. So they've doubled in value. So a lot of the Northeast is at that value at the moment. At sort of, I tend to purchase for clients between 50 and 80k in the Northeast. I don't do a lot there anymore. I do have an agent there that, who sources for us now. So if anyone does ever need the Northeast, and we can still do it. But personally, I don't tend to go up there. So the sweet spot seems to be kind of like 50 to 80k purchase, but you have to be very, very knowledgeable and picky about where you invest. Because it's like anywhere. Everywhere has good areas, everywhere has worse areas, right? More unreliable tenants. It can be, oh, look at this deal. It's like 40 grand. Yeah. And then you get £350 a month rent.
I've seen it.
Right.
I've seen it. And
that £350 a month rent doesn't go very far if there's an issue at the property.
Yeah.
If you need a boiler, well, that's a year's rent gone.
Yeah.
You know, so you've got to be savvy as well, or you can buy them, but let's make sure they're in good condition.
Yeah.
You know, or let's make sure they're not going to need that kind of work in sort of 6 months, 12 months time. Let's make sure you are getting reliable tenants within that property.
I've seen some of them with sitting tenants.
Yeah.
Tenants stopped paying for a year. They couldn't get them out. Then once the tenant left, the property was trashed.
Then they've wrecked it.
Then they did the refurb and they actually realized it's in the worst area that it could be in that town, you know? So some people just sold proper shitty deals, and unfortunately some of the investors, they were attracted by low price.
Well, the
shiny
40 figures,
grand.
The big headline figures.
Yeah.
You'd be like, 15% ROI.
Because if you buy with 40k, no matter what the rent is, the deal will be high. You know, it will be close to 10%.
Exactly.
Which you can't achieve in Manchester.
That's right.
You know.
Yeah. But then you've got to also be wary. You know, look at the market conditions. Look at the price history. What's happening in the area? Is there investment? Is there infrastructure? Yeah. Are there changes?
Who's going to rent it? You know, who's your targeted tenant?
Yeah. There's a lot of places in the northeast that I won't go to. The main areas that we have been doing business in, Gateshead more recently, flying, absolutely flying, for capital growth as well as really high rents. You're 5 minutes drive from Newcastle city centre, just over the bridge, you know, and there's Metrolink stations.
I've been in Newcastle last week.
Nice, okay.
Nice.
So there's good, you know, there's lots going on to support those values. And then you can go out to Sunderland. There's areas in Sunderland which are fairly good. Again, there's lots of investment going in there.
That's not far from Newcastle as well.
Again, so kind of Newcastle,
10 miles
Sunderland.
or something like that?
Yeah, it's probably 20 minutes.
What about Newcastle?
Newcastle's brilliant.
Is it higher now?
You're just going for a higher price. And if you're buying
what prices we talking about? Let's say 3-bed semi in Newcastle.
To be honest, I don't know. I don't do enough business in Newcastle to kind of know off the top of my head. But what I will say is the kind of, if you want to buy, say, 70, 80k, similar to what you spend in say, Gateshead, you're going to be buying not a great area in Newcastle.
Yeah.
So again, you can get a Newcastle postcode for a lower amount, but you've just got to be conscious of what the area's like and what you're getting.
Who you're targeting as a tenant, because that's very important.
Exactly. Look, I'm not saying, you know, these areas are bad and whatever, but from an investment perspective, you need to be buying in the best area possible or the area with the best future
not necessarily
possible.
Cheapest.
Exactly. Yeah, you've got to get that balance. Obviously, it's an investment. Obviously, you're looking at the numbers, but is that property going to go up in value? Are you going to get the right kind of tenant profile that you want in there?
Mm-hmm.
And what's it? You know, what's the entry level price? You know, so you've got to take all this into consideration when you're doing this. And it's very easy to get distracted by look at that shiny 50k deal, £500 a month rent. Oh, the ROI is amazing. Yeah, but is it in the right place for what you want?
Yeah.
You know, so
Thinking about leaving UK for the better lifestyle? Picture yourself in Cyprus. Sunshine, sea views, and slower pace of life will help you to find your dream home on this beautiful island. Question: what's the next for you? Let's say you build this company in a 5-year, you sell it with a chunky profit. What are you going to do then? Buy 10 vintage cars and spend most of your time in a garage?
Hopefully I'll have 10 by then. No, no, I think
because this might go really well, and you know you end up making some crazy money. And
do you know what? Again,
I think you will go abroad. That's my personal opinion.
I think so. Yeah,
I don't think you will stay here.
I think I want to get into a position where. But again, I need to be and that's going to be very difficult to manage over this period. You know, if that is the case, you know, if we get to a case where we manage to build something and sell, or you know, whatever it ends up being, whatever the life has in store for me, it will all work out, or it won't work out, whatever, and we'll move on. But I've also got to train myself to that mentality, which is very difficult in you're in the build stage of a company. Yeah. go, let's grow this, let's build this, do this, we do it. But also, how can you go, psychologically from building something massive, being on it 24/7, to then going, well, I'm just going to sell and sit back. How can you physically do that?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So I think you either have to have a passion or a project or another company or something at the end of that, like to then see you out of that, to put your time into, whatever, keep you distracted, keep you occupied. Because if
it's like going into retirement, what are you going to do?
If I
don't go to work now, so what am I going to do?
Exactly.
Watch the TV all day?
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
Just turn into a potato watching the television. It's not what I want. So I've got to start. It's a brilliant question. The answer is I don't know. The straight answer is I don't know. But I need to start training myself, and I'm very aware of this. I need to start training myself to enjoy life and enjoy like being in that moment as well.
Yeah.
So that when I do get to that stage, if I can ever switch off and say, that's it, I'm done.
I don't think you can.
No, I don't think I can either. But that's why, you're just punishing yourself all the time by just doing more and more and more and more. So you've got to train yourself to not keep just, another thing.
Look, maybe the way is, you will learn how to build a company now. Maybe that's the way going forward. Copy and paste exercise,
Maybe.
You can build and exit more companies, if that's gonna make you lots of money.
Exactly.
Money for your enjoyment,
Sure.
cars and traveling abroad.
That's
Who
it.
knows? Maybe that's
Who
the way.
knows? Yeah.
And you could probably, do this remotely, not necessarily being in the office every single one day.
Exactly.
Because once you learn how to lead the teams, I think that's where the skills is.
Definitely, yeah. Getting that buy-in from your staff and building that. And that's one thing I massively enjoyed with property when that was my focus, was that flexibility, was that whole, I can go abroad for a couple of months, and I can work remotely. I've got my build teams, I've got my sources, I've got whatever I need. I've got that infrastructure. I've put that into place. We've got the lettings. We've got that reoccurring income coming in from the lettings as well. So I'm not so pressured to having to be doing the deals, kind of thing each month. Or I'd build them all up and I'd do it like, I don't know, one trip before. I remember before the wedding, I built all my clients into got all the list. Went up to the northeast. Ton of deals over a 48 period, and then went away for 2 months. And then those sales just went through, and as they came, all started. It was just paying me the whole time I was away for that 48 hours of work essentially that I'd lined up. Then I've got the build teams. I've got people doing the key boxes. I've got people then going into it. I already knew what the refurbs was. I priced them all up before I went. Got all the deals done. Got the build teams lined up. I processed all the sales. Got them all through to completion whilst I was away. All remotely. I'd have someone separate go in and sign them off. Then we'd let them out, etc.
Yeah.
So if you can build that infrastructure, whether you hired them directly or you're outsourcing like I was, that also gives you that flexibility. But you need to find the right people, and it can take a while to find that structure.
But it's possible to find them, 100%.
Yeah. And that for me, looking back now. It's easy to say now when you're looking back, but obviously in the moment, maybe you don't quite appreciate it. But looking back now, I'm like, do you know what? Life was good then.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that part of my life. Yes, okay, we got married and we were away and we took our dog with us, and so we had everything there. Do you know what I mean? It's like, this is really cool. We're in the sun, we're working, we're still doing this, we've still got
we're all
purpose,
going back to the same thing. It's time.
Yeah, exactly.
The most precious.
Gave us that flexibility. And we didn't really need a lot of money to do it. It's like...
I think the main thing is a main point that we're not really getting or buying the money as an end product. It's the time that we are buying,
Definitely.
Obviously, money gives you that freedom.
Yeah.
If you got, I don't know, 500k in your bank account, you can go to Tenerife for a
more
year.
things. Yeah,
exactly, you
yeah.
don't have to think about, paying the bills.
Sure.
But it's the time as we get older,
Yeah, it is.
which is more important.
Yeah.
To spend with the right people, with the people you want to spend it to, which is your wife,
Exactly.
your doggy, and
But I'm seeing the same from you as well. I've seen that shift in you in the last few years as well.
100%,
mate. Clearly,
mate, I've got 2 kids.
The
The most enjoyment I've got watching my lad playing football every weekend. Saturday, Sunday.
That's amazing.
You
That's
know,
cool.
that's the best enjoyment for me. The time when we can spend at home, you know, when I'm cooking, when they eat, and when we go out, you know, that's the best thing you can have. You know, there is nothing more. If you wanted to be a family man like I wanted, it didn't happen to me by accident. I wanted a family. You know, got 2 dogs and 2 kids, so you know, happy family. But the time definitely. As I got older, I realized that time is the most precious thing. And if I can put myself in a position that I can spend more time with them, still being able to make enough money. And like you said, we always want more.
Yeah.
I always got some projects. Like I told you, I'm working on the book with Mick.
Yes.
And we always bring something that will take your time. And, you know, you could probably slow down and take it easy, but it's not in us. And this is the business mindset.
Right?
We can't change it, unfortunately.
It's
you know,
hardwired.
I don't think I could work, I don't know, 9 to 5 and just switch up. I'm constantly thinking about opportunities and things I could do different.
Well, that was, I mean, it probably answers your question in a way, because that was me when I was living in Barcelona.
Right.
You could look at it from the outside, and again, the photos you post online, like you're living in paradise.
Yeah.
You've got, you know, you can
You've got
go
everything,
out and drink in
but
the street, you know, and like
there was that inner voice in you, the business
but
voice.
I wasn't content.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have my own thing. And even now, I was setting up apartments, like I was renting apartments to rent and like on Airbnb and stuff like that, because I just couldn't stop. I just couldn't help myself. You know, I didn't need to do it. I didn't have a lot of money, but I was fine financially. It was enough to pay for what I needed. You know, I had my life, I had my life and whatever. But I just always wanted that bit more. So it's just something that's hardwired into you. So no matter where you are, I can be sat on the beach in Philippines, and I'll still be probably on Facebook Marketplace or something like that, looking for like what wheels can I buy for my car? Right. I don't know, whatever. But you know, there's just always this is always that like itch to I'm in paradise. Let's build a beach bar, or like, let's, you know what I mean?
Always
like,
something.
There's always like just stop.
You can't
man.
stop.
Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just enjoy the sun and
Exactly.
you know.
I can't.
No.
I can't do it. Which is annoying. Like, you know, in a way though, it's frustrating because you're like should be. Able to
but in some way, you know, you're
but
being creative and you create things. And from my experience, you always, you know, deliver great experience to whoever work with you.
Yeah.
And that's why you've been doing well with your clients as well after you left that estate agency.
Sure. Yeah.
Because you're a trustworthy person, and that's all it's about. So, question that I ask every single one guest: is loyalty important to you?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's the top thing, because that just leads into everything else. If you know you can rely on that person and they're loyal. It even reminds me, you know, when we went back to when you were sourcing, I was doing lettings. I'd have clients come to me and try and get me source for them.
Yeah.
Because I think I could probably do it cheaper.
Yeah.
And I would send them back to you straight away. I'd be like, I'd ring you. I'd say, Martin, this, whoever it was, you know, they've come to me direct. They've sent me this link for the property. You know, we had a few. And I think, you know, sort of then sort of selling it onwards. I remember we had a couple where they then sort of wanted to resell, and then they'd come to me and I'd be like, no, Martin's your agent. He introduced you to me. Like, can you speak to him? Like, if he wants me to sell it.
And that's very rare, mate. That's very rare.
But I'm not going to wreck a relationship we've built over that period of time for £1,000 sale or like whatever. Do you know what I mean? What's the point? You know?
Yeah. But that's your character and personality. You know, some people would do it. Some people would do it for £100. Yeah. Unfortunately. Yeah. And that's why most of them are. That's why most of them are in my one penny club. You know, because that's where they belong. Absolutely. So this is just a club, imaginary club of cheap characters, people with no morals. I think today we'll do it a little bit different. I always name someone who did wrong to me and all that. It's always a bit negative, which I don't want this to be negative. It's just something that we forget about it. You know, you put them in there and you don't give them any more energy, any more thoughts, because they deserve it. They don't deserve it. So if you agree, we won't name anyone, and this is not about our ex-business partners. This is about all wrong business partners that people can have. So I don't want to name anyone. There is no exact person I want to put here, but I want to put all the wrong business partners that some people will come across. You just have to cut them out of your life and you have to move on.
Absolutely.
Because that's all you need to do, because the life is too great for dwelling on wrong experience with certain individuals.
Yeah.
So all wrong business partners, welcome to my 1 penny club.
100%. Let's give them a little shaker now as well. Make sure they're well and truly in there. But yeah, definitely. No, it's good. It's a nice.
Yeah.
They are. They're in the jar.
And that's
Don't ever
it,
have to
mate.
bring them up again now.
You don't have to think about them anymore. You know,
Exactly.
sometimes I know it's hard. It's hard when you lose, especially when you lose a lot of money.
Sure.
When it's not like small amount, £500,000 or something like that. When it's a couple £10,000, you know, it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, like I ask you the question: is loyalty important to you? When you think that someone is loyal and you find out they're not, it fucking hurts.
Yeah.
But it's life, unfortunately. Not everyone is the same. Not everyone is loyal. Not everyone, you know, will be nice to you, and not everyone wants to see you succeed. Unfortunately,
That's right.
that's how it is. There is a lot of toxic and negative people out there, and that's why we keep our circle small. And you know, that's why you are here in this seat, and that's why we're having a chat, because you know you are one of my real friends, and you always proved yourself to me, and you know, I appreciate it. I appreciate people like you in my circle.
Same.
So,
Yeah, same here. Thank you very much.
mate, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming here and having a great chat. I'm sure there will be a couple things that people can take from this chat and learn from you. You know, going from this is second or third business that you are building basically, and this is the biggest project. So it's inspirational, mate. Honestly.
Yeah.
Sometimes
it doesn't feel it from
I
our
know,
side.
I
You
know,
but
but you have to
it's
give
one of those,
yourself
isn't
a
it?
credit
Yeah,
for what
yeah,
you
yeah,
do, because you know there's many people out there who would love to be in your position, you know, and I think what I saw from you, where you excel, is your work ethic.
Sure.
Is incredible. Maybe it's your thing that you can't stop, but that comes to your work ethic, that if you have to work 16 hours a day, you will be working 16 hours a day.
100%.
You know.
Yeah, it's
And
how to
that's
get the
what
job
it-
done. All
yeah.
I want to do is be efficient, get the job done.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
interested in anything else. It's just make it work, do it right, do a good job, and then that will flow into success.
Yeah.
Success comes from that. I'm not like, I want to be successful, I want this, I want that. I just want to do a good job, good processes, be genuine, and everything else will flow, right?
100%.
yeah.
Mate, thank you
so
so
much for having me. Thank you. Good to see you.
At Rainbow Northwest, we make real estate effortless. Whether you're looking to sell on the market, off market through our exclusive investor database, or via auction, we've got you covered. Plus, we offer top-notch property and project management, including refurbishment for investors. We can help you to build your own portfolio. Let us help you on your real estate journey. Rainbow Northwest, your trusted real estate business partner.